Greetings everyone and welcome back to Sorcery 3, the 7 Serpents. Yeah, we discovered quite few things last time. I mean, and time to move on. You are walking through a boggy marshland. The sun has almost set and the sky has turned a deep purple. Soon it will be dark. The ground underfoot turns to slope until you are sinking a few fingers deep in a very step. A thick smell of rot and decay fills the air. The marsh is endless, bleak and grey, filling the valley between the ridge and the horns of Aiedail like sleep filling a prisoner bowl. Long grasses weft and shiver in the chill breeze. Things move in the water below. From somewhere close at the hand you hear crashing noise and a cry, but you can see nothing. You draw your sword and spike the ground on either side. Some areas are quite shallow, but others seems to sink a good depth down. The ground here is clearly treacherous. You keep your peace, hoping the ground will grow firmer further on. I mean, I just realized I set it so I can't really now. I barely can see this this eagle's nest. The marshes give away to more solid barren ground. Another night begins. You should try to find a place to sleep, especially after so much walking on an empty stomach. Sleeping out here would be ill advised. You would be exposed to both elements and animals. You should keep moving. Time to move on. You must find your way to shore of Lake Aiedail somehow. It lies east. It seems impossible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is Lake Aiedail. I don't know what I was looking for there. Also, I see the game recognize where is they are not which time zone you are in by highlighting the zone you are in. So this is always nice. It lies east. It lies east of the horns of towering range of the mountains. For a long time Aiedail had hoped those peaks would perfect them from the Archmage. No one knew his birdman could fly so high or so far. Now, I'm really starting to be worried that because I picked this path, I might run out of time faster, perhaps. This is just like a theory though, so let's go west, because I really want to check this bird nest. You fall into a steady pace as you walk, ascending and descending. The featureless landscape offers a little to attract your interest, but in the far distance you can make out at the edge of a great forest. A chill wind sweeps across your path, making you shiver. You pull your cloak tighter around your body and keep walking. A short while later, another gust of wind hits you with sudden force, almost knocking you down. If there is a storm coming, it would be wise to find some kind of shelter before it breaks. As the rumbling grows in the air around you, you spy a sizable crevice in the rock. You pelt for the rocky overhang and squeeze inside, drawing up your cloak as to cover, but though the sky has darkened, no rain falls. Instead, the wind picks up, changing into a swirling gale as through trying to scoop you from your hiding spot. You grab onto your belongings, keeping your pack underneath as the wind rises. Stones begin to fly about as several smash into you, leaving you stunned and reeling. There is no else to be done. You sit, shivering and bleeding, and wait until the storm passes. When it finally does, the silence rings in your ears, almost as deafening. You get back to your feet. The steps are smooth and featureless once more. Swept clean, you start walking once more. Then the toe of your boot catches something on the ground. You look down to see a long deep stretch in the smooth rock of the step. It runs northeast to southwest for about 4 strides, and near an end, you see another scratch leading away along the slant to the first. You trace the screeches further, finding the mega V-shape. Across the middle, a third horizontal scratch joins the two. These symbols were definitely not here before. The rock is crushed here, where it has been struck by lightning, perhaps? This is the map which was on this guy's head. Now, is it worth it? This is the question. You cannot stop now. You piece around the rock until you find another stroke in the dust to the left, to the V. A single vertical bar. If I only remember this map. I don't think I did pick it. Strapping left, you find another vertical scratch. Up until now you could still almost believe they were fissures in the rock caused by cracking ice. But what you find next dispels that nation. Besides, the vertical slash is a short diagonal and above it, sweeping semi-circular curve. The arc is too perfect, too carefully drawn to be natural. It has been scratched deep into the stone by a powerful claw. You step around the carving to the other side and regard it from the other direction. Suddenly, the scratches resolve into a meaning. They are letters, and you are looking at them from the wrong side, and they spell out a three-letter word, air. Was this message left by the storm that crossed the rock? Is it a spell? I think it is. There is nothing more to be discovered here. You raise your eyes once more to the steps and your journey. You march onwards, climbing slightly. The night air is cold, the air is like ice. In the darkness you all but walk into a large pole that is stuck into the ground here. You settle down with your back to the pole. It is hardly a comfortable place. You are unsheltered and exposed on all sides, but it's late, and if you walk all night you risk exhausting yourself. You have not yet eaten today, but there is nothing you can do to fill your belly. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. You dream. You are trapped in a low straw hut, its door sealed with bolts made of bones. A small fire is burning in one corner but quickly spreads until you are surrounded by flame. You feel yourself starting to sweat from the heat. And you wake up to find a ball of fire raging mere inches from you. Touch it? Why the fuck I would touch it? Look at it. The fire does not seem to be fueled. It is a ball about 3 feet wide, gushing with smoke and steam. A moment later it unravels, uncurling into a long animal form. It is a FIREFOX. FIREFOX. And it's coming for your neck in a blaze of a fur and fire. Because it's a FIREFOX. So I'm quite sure my sword wouldn't like do much here. I mean, maybe it would, but I think like I should use some of my spells. Hey, maybe I can use air. I don't think there is A to begin with, so create further feels could work, but summon darkness. I think that might be clever, but if it's a FIREFOX, it kind of just creates light anyway, so fireball won't work on FIREFOX, I reckon. Shield made of gold piece. You know, that might be a good idea actually. I feel that might work. So yeah, I don't think there is anything I could really do. I think I'm gonna go with shield. You place a gold piece on your wrist and cast the spell, and a moment later the coin is gone. You feel the weight of an invisible shield on your arm. Then it's upon you. You draw your sword and keep your shield high, ready to fight. You draw back your blade for a strong blow as the creature rushes forward, splitting, flying from its flashing jaws. For a moment you almost hesitate. The creature is hot, but you muster your courage and then push your blade up into the creature's side. The FIREFOX collapses, and then a moment later ignites with a powerful flare. A pyre burns for a short instant, and when it fades, the creature is tight skin around bones with no flesh left. 2 stamina lost. Skilled third play. You collapse back exhausted and scratched from the encounter. With luck, the rest of the night will be more peaceful. The creature has no possession, of course, but it has a fine array of teeth, including 4 front fangs that seems to glow with a faint heat. With the tip of your sword you dig out the fears of the creature's fangs, but as you talk it free, the tooth cracks and suddenly erupts into a flame. You drop and the fire burns a moment longer before going out. I don't think I can take any of those. Maybe I should just lay down? I think I'm gonna lose some health by doing that. Should we try? Working more carefully this time, you managed to extract 2 more fangs without incident. The third is harder work, but you could and took carefully and managed to extract it successfully. You rub the teeth in cloth and put them into your bag. They will come and useful should you need to light a fire. Then tiredness overwhelms you. Time to rest. Your shield shimmers out of existence. Oh, so this was nice. During the past day, you gained some gold, entered the Wilschlami Marsh and found no new clues. You get to your feet in the daylight. You can see the pole is made of wood and has clearly been cut from a pine or some other straight tree, and then sanded to smooth surface. It has no knots, handles or holes of any kind, nothing except a level platform right at the top, clumps of a curious bright yellow moss growing around the base of the pole. So now when I can light the fire, I will be able to cook the fish I had. So this is actually really good. I gave it another try. You craft an enchantment and quiet voice begins to speak to you. The voice informs you that there is a Polfar priest of Torf who is fasting and contemplating the precision of the sun. He is likely to be quite mad. The voice fades. Intrigued, you grab a fistful of the moss. It is juicy and extremely pungent. You put your nose deep into the moss. The scent is like lemons, and strong cheese, and manuel leather, and rolled together. It reminds you of the smell of drinking water in Kare. The effect is heady. You store the moss in your backpack, but quickly dries and crumbles to so much dust from somewhere nearby. You hear singing. On the space information, you unbelt your blade and wallop the pole with the weapon in its sheath. The wood vibrates. A moment later, a shaggy face appears over the edge of the platform overhead. "Who's that?" it demands carbily. "Can't you hear? I was doing the singing." "Are you feasting?" Feasting. You demand. "No," he says. "I'm not doing the fasting. I'm only not doing the eating. What I am doing is doing the singing." He's bawling every word. His throat must be sore by now. "What can you see?" "The future and the past as one." The mystic call backs to you. "Yawning and sprinting and ghost walking back and forth. None of us are quite when believe ourselves to be." "I have experienced this myself." "Shut your face hole," the man replies fearlessly. "I don't sit up this pole to learn what you models can learn, crawling around the ground with your full fat bellies. You would like to learn more from you." The man does not reply but leans away, however. A moment later a hand appears over the side of the platform and something falls to earth. It is a medallion. "Is that for me?" "You're a sorcerer, aren't you? Come up." There is a pause. "I hope you are a sorcerer," he adds. "Otherwise I can't get down again." You take hold of the medallion. Nothing in particular happens. "Come on then," the man says, gesturing at you. Then he disappears from view. Just funnels across the empty plain. You turn the medallion over in your hands and its jewels studded and set on loose chain. It is probably worth something. Or there is a spell which uses medallion. Eh? Hover in air. Requires a jewel-studded medallion. There you go. Reaching up to the constellation above you, create the spell and the medallion begins to glow. As you rise gently up into the air, you are now floating off the ground. To the north of the thick forest rolls with mist. Float up to the top of the pillar. The man shuffles aside to allow you to bob down, while taking back the jeweled medallion. "So you are a sorceress then?" he declares. "I thought so. I might have been a thief. I am a sorceress. Another good one, that he adds. He gestures around with the platform. "Welcome to my little area." "What are you doing up here?" you demand. "High from the world I can see diagonally downwards onto the world," he replies. "I can see through the lights, of course, that affect these lands. The whole place has unraveled like a poorly woven shoe," he demands, with his hands barring them one over to other. After a moment he says more simply, "From up here I can see." "Do you know of the 7 serpents?" you demand. He nods. "I see much from up here. I know of their winged beasts and their quest to devour you, grind your bones to the dust, and then spit that dust into the cup of the king of Analand." He pauses to scratch underneath his loin cloth. "So," he asks, "do you like up here? The view is superb." He shrugs. "I do not see how a view can be superb. It is only looking, after all." As he speaks, you feel weight gather about your shoulders as you settle down into the platform. The spell has worn off. "Can you tell me Serpent's weakness?" He shakes his head. "These are most secret, but some I think can be guessed at. The Fire Serpent, for instance, his weakness must be one of extinguishing, and water is too obvious, I think. I would try sand." "Where can I find the serpents?" "They are looking to find you, Analander. Each is waiting for you. Some are hiding, some are not. One awaits for you in the very depths of Lake Kalala. He means to pick you off when you are at your weakest." "He's underwater?" He nods. "If you must encounter him, I fear the only way would be like to swim until he senses your tiredness. But that is a most foolish course." From the forest to the north, the tree seems to part and a gigantic beard leaps into the view, its talons gleam into the sunlight. You watch with horror as the beard swoops low. The priest screams. The moment later he is gone and the beard is flapping gently away. You are alone. I'm sorry? I take the medallion. You take the medallion and sling it around your neck. If you are not mistaken, this probably explains how he got up to the pole in the first place. Now we need to use the spell again. Oh yes, Zen, exactly. You float over the edge of the platform and lower yourself gently back down to the ground. Looking up once more, the top of the pole seems dizzyingly far away. You clutch your medallion with pride. Okay. About this serpent, this particular serpent, I knew already. You're back at the base of the pole. You leave the pole behind and strike out across the steps. Man, I'm kind of not happy I'm still stuck in this area. Because it's like 3 episodes just in this area. I wasted 2 days, I didn't really do that much. Although, but there is just the forest left, it seems. Also, I don't know, should we by any chance go back to this place? I don't know. But I'm gonna cut this episode here. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Farewell!